In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the passenger side radiator fan motor on this Volkswagen GTI. Let's get into it. We're going to remove this panel. There's some screws all along here. You want to use a T25 socket. Take these out. There should be others there. And then do the same on the other side. All those out, just grab the panel, slide it towards the back of the vehicle, and it comes right down. Disconnect the electrical connector right here. There's a little lock tab. I'm just going to use a pick, push that up, then you can push down on the tab, slide that out. I might have to get the pick underneath there. There we go. It just slides out. Just got under the lock. The lower screws right here, we're going to take those and loosen those up. I'm going to use a T25 socket. I'm not going to take it out completely, but we just want it finger tight just to hold the fan in. And we'll do the same on the other side. And now loosening this one up. And it's just a couple threads on, so that's loose. We're going to disconnect the connector for the mass airflow sensor. Just push down on the tab, slide that off out of the way. Loosen up this worm clamp right here. There's a 7mm socket I'm going to use. Slide that back. It should be able to separate right here. This may look a little different than what you have. There should be an air box right here, but the procedure is going to be very similar. Right down here, take this bolt out. I'm going to use a 10mm socket. Pull that out. And if you have the factory air box, you're going to have a couple of holes down here and some screws. You're going to have to take those screws out. You should be able to use a T20 socket to get those out. Grab the air box and just slide it out of the way. And use the T25 socket, take this screw out. Top. And that's going to be loose. And the same on the other side. And take that screw out, and this fan will be loose. And we can loosen up the bolts by hand. Take those out, take the screws out. Just hold the fan shroud while you're doing that. That's good. And just slide it right down. Disconnect the connector. I'm just going to use a trim tool. Get underneath here. Just pop the connector up. You can see where there's a little tab right there. Just push down on the tab. If you need to, you can use a pick. Just get underneath here. Slide those apart. Pull the wire out of the retainer. Using a 10mm socket, we're going to take these 3 nuts off. Just lift up on the fan shroud, slide the old motor out, slide the new one underneath. The wire is going to go up, same way it came out. Line the studs up. Push it up so it's all flat. Take the nuts, get the nuts started. and snug those down. That's good. Connect the connector, only goes one way. And push the wire down in the retainer and lock it down. Take the fan assembly and just slide it in place. Just slide it up. Goes. And take the screws, get those started. There we go. And get the other screws in place. At least those are started. Then you want to get the top ones in just to make sure everything lines up before you tighten those down. And put the top bolts in. Get that started. If you have to, move the fan around a little bit. That's good. And the other bolt on the other side. With those in, now we can tighten these down. Snug that down. And snug this one down. Tighten the lower bolts. Nice and snug. That's good. Snug. Take the connector. And lock it in place. And push down on the lock. That's good. And slide the shield in place. That's good. Take the bolts. Get these all started. We'll tighten those down. And slide the airbox back in place. Get that lined up. Line the snorkel up. Get the bolts started behind the airbox. Snug those down. Snug that down. And the screw that goes back here, you want to put those in place and tighten those down. Snug that down. That's good. Tighten the clamp down. Snug that down. Take the connector, line that up, lock it down.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.